Today, we explore the transgender community.
Does sexual or gender identity affect the kind of job someone can do in the workplace?
Jay Wombles is a Chicago police officer.
Ever since I can remember, I always identified myself as male. And as I became older and was able to make those changes, I started to make those changes. I started with changing my name, then went on to have top surgery, chest surgery. Then I went on to have hormone therapy.
And finally, full sexual reassignment surgery, which means now he is psychologically, biologically, and legally male.
I'm a police officer. I'm not a transgender police officer. You know, I should be judged on my merits as an officer and not on my personal choices. And unfortunately, there are some officers there that are affected by my personal choices.
It has been billed as a groundbreaking lawsuit, a transgender suing her employer, claiming discrimination after coming to work as a woman.
Danielle Ryan hid her secret for 9 years at the Sacramento office of Parsons Brinkerhoff, a giant engineering firm. She was an information technology analyst, a good one, she says, with an outstanding record. In January of last year, she finally told her supervisors she was a transgender. Soon after, she came to work, dressed as a woman.
My immediate supervisor personally had issues with it, and according to him, Parsons Brinkerhoff also had issues with me.
So, she says, did her co-workers.
An employee asked to see my breasts. I would get bumped in the hallways between the cubicles. Verbally, I would have to deal with being called he or it.
Ryan says management did nothing to address her complaints. The firm, she says, told her she would be fired in 3 months or she could stay, but with a cut in salary and a demotion.
Diane Schroer's library is filled with reminders of the 26 years she spent in the Army.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
That was before she became a woman. She served as David Schroer, a man retired as a full colonel who claims an impressive military resume.
For the last 2.5 years in the military, post 9/11, I organized and directed the first joint interagency counterterrorism task force.
Even briefing the vice president, a life David could not have had as a woman. David Schroer applied for a job as a terrorism analyst at the Library of Congress, but says the job offer was rescinded when the library learned David was becoming Diane. Schroer sued, a federal court agreeing in November to hear her claim of illegal discrimination.
The bill is passed.
The House has passed an employment non-discrimination bill with protections for gays and lesbians, but not for transgender individuals like Diane.
We're extremely disappointed.
Mara Keisling is executive director of the National Center for Transgender Equality.
We're going to continue working, and eventually we'll get it done and help stop the discrimination.
The Family Research Council opposes legislation granting civil rights protections to transgenders.
This is really an attack upon the freedom of employers to make their own decisions as to what the standards should be for their employees.
Schroer says the issue is pretty basic.
The federal government should hire people based on their qualifications, not whether they're male or female or transgender.
Schroer hopes for a court decision this year. Gary Nuremberg, CNN, Washington.